There's no presidential election.
Supposedly,
2016.
Jeffrey said to his brother or to someone, if people knew what I knew, both candidates in the presidential election would have to step down. That's a quote. Jamie can find that.
Wow.
There's definitely, and it's been exposed, I think, by the thing. There's an entire ecosystem of depravity amongst the ruling elites that people go to great lengths to cover up. This is obvious.
Yes.
So,
and it always has.
And always has forever and ever and ever. And it would be absolutely plausible to me that people have to cover this stuff up.
I'm here with Congressman Robert Garcia, the leading Democrat on the House Oversight Committee. We just left the press conference with survivors. Congressman, what do people need to know right now in this moment?
Look, right now, Donald Trump and Pam Bondi have the power to release all the files, and they're choosing not to do so.
That's a flat-out lie. Donald Trump and Pam Bondi do not have the power to release all the files, and he very likely knows that. But again, this is not actually about caring about the victims. If they were so worried about protecting victims of trafficking, they would actually care about having a secure border. They're not really worried about these victims, and they're not really worried about...
Yes, for the past 2 weeks, Democrats can rest with this topic. It's like this is the only thing they have right now to be talking about. I don't get it. If they find small loopholes, they will hang on that every day. I don't know where they have been when this topic is raised. Nobody agrees to talk about it. Looking at what Joe Rogan and Tim said on this podcast, it took a lot of people on edge. When you take a look at this, Tim Dillon tells Joe Rogan, Jeffrey Saga has pulled back the curtain on a long history of ruling elite protecting their own depravity. It's been exposed, I think, by the Jeffrey thing. There is an entire ecosystem of depravity amongst the ruling elite that people go to great lengths to cover up. This was a whole topic of discussion a few weeks ago, where some conservatives rise up. They were talking about this, getting angry, like, oh, the Trump administration should do something. And this guy had this to say.
They would actually care about having a secure border. They're not really worried about these victims, and they're not really worried about the Evans situation. They're just attempting to use it for narrative control to harm Republicans and harm Donald Trump. That's what this is about. Here's why I say that. They won't tell you this, but within a 30-day period, from like July 20th to August 20th, the DOJ tried to unseal grand jury files 3 times with 3 different judges. And all 3 judges did not let them unseal the files. 2 of these judges were appointees from Obama and 1 was from Clinton. None of them were Republican appointees. So I'm going to say this again. The DOJ in a 30-day period has tried to unseal grand jury materials 3 times. And all 3 times were denied by federal judges. So Donald Trump and Pam Bondi do not have access to release all the files. This is just a flat out lie. And they're using it because it's some of the only leverage they have against Donald Trump right now. So they're going all in on it. So the master list you want, with all the names, you're not getting that. It's locked by Rule 6E. The proof, identities, all these things that people want, like all the juicy stuff you want, it is locked by federal law. We're not going to get it. So make no mistake, this is not about Trump and Pam Bondi have all the files and they're just choosing not to release them. That is not what's happening. Here's what I think is happening. The vast majority of the information that people actually want is locked by federal law, and most people do not know this. So many Republicans on the right are frustrated with Trump and Pam Bondi.
Yeah, looking at what this guy said, I went through the comment section to see what people are saying, if they are actually agreeing with what he said on this video. When you take a look at this, the claims have some accuracy, but are mixed. DOJ under Trump did seek to unseal the Jeffrey grand jury material 3 times in August 2025, denied by judges CNN, ABC, The Hill. Garcia has criticized Trump Bondi for not releasing more non-grand jury files they control, which aligns with judicial views. NPR, New York Times, Democrat pushed some releases during Biden, e.g. Senate effort, though critics say less aggressively than now. Al Jazeera, NBC, overall, partly right, but views on motives varies. That was a response to this guy. When I see a video, I usually fact check to see if the person is speaking the truth on the current situation.
He called it a hoax. I'd say the caucasity of that man, but I'm not even sure that Tangerine Tyrant qualifies as one anymore. We do not claim him. After the survivor spoke on Capitol Hill, he called it a hoax. Typical, let's be real. And then the White House goes on to say, wait, there's more. If any Republican votes on that bill to release the rest of the JE files, because they've just re-released a bunch of already available information, they're going to be committing a hostile act against the government. What in the Pyongyang is happening here? Seriously, what in the Pyongyang is going on? Because that language is not generally found in Western democracies of any flavor, and I know y'all like to get real picky about that in my comment section, so go ahead, have fun, argue over it, go for it. But as a survivor myself, the fact that these women got up there on Capitol Hill, told their stories, put their names and their faces out there, putting themselves up for scrutiny, hell, putting themselves at actual real risk to their safety is commendable. And then to have the Tangerine turd say it's a hoax, if not guilty, then why guilty shaped?
So many Republicans on the right are frustrated with Trump and Pam Bondi because they think they're just not releasing the files, when in reality, they've tried to unseal them 3 times in the past 30 days, basically. And the judges will not let them. The situation is the most leverage that Democrats have had ever since Trump has got elected. So they want to keep this going. Again, think about it. They had control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency when Joe Biden came into office. Where was this energy then? It was not there because they didn't see any political upside in doing it. But now that they think it can harm Trump, now they care about the victims. And many Republicans on the right are helping Democrats keep this at the forefront. Again, when in reality, the vast majority of the juicy information that people want, we are not going to see. Or I should say it's highly, highly, highly unlikely.
For about 3 months, we have been talking about this. Democrats want this to be a topic till the midterm elections. They don't want this topic to stop. They know very well that this information, some of the information will never be made public. Some of the judges putting up these laws are Democrat judges. That's the funniest thing. Then why would they continue to push it? They don't even mention this in their videos or their outreach. They don't say this. They continue to push the narrative. Oh, the Trump administration is hiding something. Oh, they don't want to do this. So when I look at the whole situation, I really wonder if at a certain point we should be focusing on this now. There are important things that these people should be talking about. You take up a whole day, 2, 3, 4, talking about the same thing. Let me not even say 4 days. For weeks now, we are on this. I want to appreciate people supporting me, sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. I don't want to make the video long. I will end here. Please share the video. This channel is not getting recommendations.
To a knife fight. We cannot be the only party that plays by the
hardest place to vote in the country, just in terms of the paperwork, the requirements, the even more difficult.
Making this easy. People line up for my advice, and you're walking away like I'm stupid. Line up for my advice.
Going to lionize.
Why? Marriage, infertility.
How hard it is to live in the White House.
Post this morning alleging that since I said I will prevail.
It also shouldn't be racial. 100
has been overwhelming. The lies in their amplification.
This is not going to end.
He says, but what if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense. The kids in here and resolve this issue is called conflict resolution.
Again, the evidence is still coming in.
This is definitely a self-defense case, because it always is one until you...
Because she's fearful.
Registration Act is
talking about
term, and you will be very...
Once again, the field was littered with Wintour does.
And black people don't want to live around ratchet black.
How bad is his reputation going to be?
It's bad.
You need to connect the dots. Going to carry a level of weight position
or a rant. And